Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the team selection video for Game Week 24. Is that the echo? Oh, it's gone now.
No.
I heard some echo, but yeah, it's gone now. No worries. So yeah, we're back. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, we're back for the stream, and obviously another deadline. So we're gonna get into it. Talk us through, how our Game Week 20. We'll talk about how our Game Week 23 went as well, and then we'll also discuss our transfers for Game Week 24. But the slides we are going to pull up on the website, Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you have the Game Week 23? How we did on Game Week 23? Oh yeah,
there it is.
Sorry. So there you go, guys. So let's just quickly recap Game Week 23 before we do kick off. How you doing, Jordan? Anyway, how you been?
All was well so far this week. It's been a bit of a wet day actually, so it's been pretty terrible in the UK at the moment. But apart from that, it's been all good. Hopefully, you guys are doing all right. Obviously, we're watching too.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Quickly recap Game Week 23 because it was a pretty good week, I think, for both of us. So in Game Week 23, I keep forgetting that 23 or 24. It's just that time of the season. I feel like I'm forgetting what game week it is. I don't know why. But in goal, I did have Dubravka, who got a 1-pointer after his, was it 4-4 in the end?
It was 4-4. Yeah.
Against Luton. So yeah, that was a mad game. I didn't expect that sort of result. It was the highest scoring week of a Premier League game week ever, I believe. Which was mad because it's like averaging 3 goals a game really every fixture. In the back line, nothing really to shout about. I had Trippier, who did pick up a goal and an assist against Luton in that same fixture. Trent and Porro obviously blanked in their respective games. Midfield was a lot better. Saka got a goal against Liverpool. Richarlison got a couple against his former club, Everton. Gordon got an assist before the injury. And Palmer was also on the score sheet as well in the 4-2 loss against Wolves. Then up front, Watkins does the business. I think he got 3 assists and a goal, which was nice. Solanke, blanked unfortunately after his recent run of form. But yeah, he didn't get anything in the 5. The 1-1 draw. Sorry, wasn't it for Bournemouth?
It was.
And then finally, Haaland didn't score unfortunately in the 3-1 win against Brentford, but he did pick up an assist, which was quite nice. And as my captain, he did get me 10 points. On the bench there was a big return. As you guys can see, I benched Foden, and at the time, the thinking behind that was about I was looking at it thinking, who do I bench, Foden or Saka? And those were the two. I never actually considered benching Palmer, Gordon, or Richarlison because Gordon had a really nice fixture against Luton. Gordon was actually quite unlucky, got an assist and went off injured at half time. So who knows what could have been if he was on the pitch. And I don't think no one saw Foden do this, especially with Haaland back in the team, where without Haaland, maybe he becomes more of an option. But with Haaland in the team, definitely he's not as prolific. But, that's why he's sometimes unpredictable. And he went and got a hat-trick, which I didn't see coming. It was also 50-50 whether he was actually going to start, which was mad because no one even considered Foden as a captain option. So, yeah, that's one mistake I made this week, benching him for that 20-pointer. But other than that, it was still a good week for me. Still a big green arrow. I'm now 249k overall rank, about a 80k rank rise, I believe. And that was 78 points for me this game week as well. Let's recap your team, Jordan. Talk us through how your game week 23 went as well.
So yeah, game week 23 was pretty successful. Let's start off with the goalkeeper. Obviously, Leno, he got his 1 point in that 2-2 draw against Burnley. A bit surprising, but yeah, interesting result for Burnley. I think that's a good draw for them. In the defence, there was no clean sheets, nor attacking returns though. Unfortunately, Estepinian, who was benched and he played 10 minutes. Pedro Porro had his clean sheet wiped and ended up only 1 point. He also conceded the goals, which took a point off of him. And finally, Gabriel unfortunately scored no goal and got yellow cards and ended up on -1 point. So not much fortune for the defence. And a lot more fortune for the midfield because all had returns. Foden, the biggest return of them all with the 20 points for the hat-trick he scored, which was very surprising because I thought myself Foden could be benched for that game, but I decided to play him anyway. And Saka, obviously, did well again against Liverpool in that 3-1 win. He scored the goal and got bonus 2 and ended up on 9. Richarlison, another big game for him. 2 goals from him in that game and a bonus 3 on top of that, which leaves him with 15. And finally, Palmer with 8 points. Even though Chelsea lost very badly to Wolves, he still managed to score a goal against Wolves. So, yeah, all the midfield did really well for me for game week 23. And finally, for the front three, we got Haaland, who was the captain. He did get an assist in that game, so I was like happy that he got a return from that. Would be very annoying if he didn't. And with the captaincy, he ended up on 10 points. Tony, who was playing against Haaland, obviously blanked in that game and got no returns. And finally, Watkins, again, another massive week for him. 1 goal, 3 assists, and 3 bonus points, which ends him on 18 points. And I thought this was pretty bad, having Gross on the bench, but because of Foden at 20 points, it doesn't seem as bad as a lot of people did bench Foden. But yeah, I got Gross for 11 points. He did get 2 assists and the bonus 3. I could have potentially benched Tony, but again, it was a hard decision in terms of who I played for that game. And Brantford got his 8 points for scoring the goal in that equaliser, very vital equaliser against Spurs, and also got a bonus 1. Brantford has become like the secret undercover agent in terms of getting returns at such a low ownership, while I've had him mostly on the bench from it. Obviously, Bell, he conceded 4, so he ends up on 0, and goalkeeper area blanked against Man United in that 3-0 loss. So yeah, it has been a great game at 23. I have broken into the top 100k as well. I was on 145 prior to the Monday night fixtures, so I'm pretty happy with the finishing of game week 23. It's a nice green arrow. I've broken into the top 100k, which I wanted to do, and end up on 84 points. I could have had much more if I played gross, but I'm quite happy with what the green arrow I managed to get from game week 23.
Okay, brilliant. So green arrows for both of us, so we can't really complain too much, and hopefully we can carry that on with another green arrow in game week 24. So I am going to pull up my bus team for game week 24. I'll let you change the overlay while I pull up my team. So hopefully you guys can see that. Just 2 seconds. There you go. Just 2 seconds, guys, while I just zoom in slightly so you guys can get a better view of the team. But yeah, there's a few. This game week, I'm not actually confused as to what to do with my team. So I'll just quickly go through the bus team as it is right now. So in goal, I've got Dubravka, and I am deciding to play Dubravka ahead of Areola, who's got Arsenal. And Dubravka's got Nottingham Forest. I think that's a better fixture. So I'm happy to play Dubravka. In the back three, I've got Porro, who's got Brighton, Trippier, who's got Forest, and then Trent, who's got Burnley at home. So initially, when you're looking at the defense, I'm quite happy with the fixtures. I think Trent's fixture is really good. It's a home game for Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool coming off the back of that loss, they will want to bounce back. And I do think Liverpool have one of the best fixtures this game week. So happy to play Trent. Trippier, again, I'm not convinced with Newcastle's defense. So they are conceding a lot of goals. However, Trippier did get a goal and an assist in his last game. So I think I'm quite happy to still play Trippier. Porro's got Brighton away. Brighton at home, I should say. Again, I'm not impressed with Spurs' defense. So he is potentially one I could get rid of, especially because he has a blank in game week 26. Moving on to the midfield 4, I've got Palmer, Foden, Richarlison, and then also Saka. Palmer's got Crystal Palace away. Chelsea did win against Villa last night in the 3-1 win, I believe it was in the end. And I'm quite happy to play Palmer in this fixture. I think it's a decent fixture. Obviously, Chelsea have had quite a lot of disappointing results in the Premier League recently. So hopefully Chelsea can bounce back and Palmer can get on the score sheet. Foden at home against Everton. Again, I think it's a great fixture for Foden, especially with a double coming up as well. I want him in my team. And, after that hat trick I missed out on, I am starting him this week. Richarlison's got Brighton at home. Again, he's the man in form for Spurs. Again, it's a home fixture. So, again, there's not really much to say. I don't think I'll be taking him out. And then Saka's got West Ham away. West Ham have also been a bit iffy in terms of their form in the league. And Saka's come off the back of some really good scores, obviously getting a goal against Liverpool as well. He'll be confident that he can score against West Ham as well. And obviously, it's a big game as well as the London derby. And then finally up top, I've got Solanke, who's got Fulham away. Obviously, Solanke coming off a blank. He's potentially one I could take out, so we will discuss that in a sec. Watkins has Man United at home. I'm going to definitely keep Watkins, I think, longer term. I just think he's a good, just a consistent returner of points over the long term. And I think Watkins is one that I don't really want to get rid of, if I'm being honest. I just think he's going to carry on returning points now till the end of the season. And then Haaland's got Everton at home. And it's a great fixture for Man City. I do think Man City will win quite comfortably. And I think Haaland will get on the score sheet as well. See, Haaland coming back off an injury, hasn't scored yet in the last 2 games, or was it game and a half? But Haaland is my captain as well, as you guys can see. As far as I'm aware, I won't be changing the captaincy from Haaland. I think it's the best fixture. I think you can argue Liverpool have a better fixture with Burnley at home, but obviously I don't have a Liverpool attacker yet. So if I was to bring in a Liverpool attacker, maybe I could potentially be tempted. But I think Haaland for me is the best captaincy pick for my team. And on the bench, I've got a couple of injuries with Gordon and Taylor, but Gordon isn't too serious. Could be back in game week 25 as rumours appear. And then Gabriel also on the bench. So the main part, and that is the transfers. And that's what we're here for, I guess, to discuss what my plans are. So I've got 2 free transfers with 0.4 million in the bank. So there is a lot of ways I can play it. And when you look at my team, I don't like the fact that I don't have a Liverpool attacking player in there. And I definitely want a Liverpool player. So what my plan is, I'm thinking Solanke to Darwin. I know Solanke had a double coming up in the future in game week 28, but I can always reverse that move back to Solanke if I want. But Darwin is someone that I do think I want. I know some people don't like Darwin as a pick because obviously he does miss chances, but I think Liverpool's home fixture against Burnley appeals to me a lot. Then it's a double. And I think Darwin could, do really well over these next 3 games. The other one I also want is Jota, the other Liverpool asset, but he's going to be hard to fit in. What I am also considering is taking out Pedro Porro for Doughty. As you guys know, I've been mentioning Doughty for a while as well, and he's got a couple of double game weeks coming up. He doubles in game week 25, and he also doubles in game week 28. So, then 2 double game weeks, and he's quite cheap at 4.6 million. I could downgrade from Porro, or the Porro blanks in 26 as well, and where he will have a blank as well. But I think the other double could make it up for him. So, and he's cheap enough that I can sort of bench as well in some weeks, and that will give me money to do the Darwin move as well. That will leave me with 0.9 million in the bank. So what I could do is I could take Gordon out and maybe get to Jota. But I don't think I'll be able to do it in one move. So Jota's 8.1. That is something what I want to do. So Darwin will probably come in. I think Doughty could as well. And then the only other player I could also potentially take out Trippier. I've not ruled Trippier out for someone like Kyle Walker of Man City. Just because he had a double game week in 25, it's unlikely I can get to De Bruyne. I probably do want triple City, and I know Man City don't keep many clean sheets, but it is 2 home games against Everton and Chelsea. Sorry, 3 home games in a row. So surely there's 1 clean sheet in there for Walker. Even if he gets an assist, it will make up for it. So I am actually thinking about Walker in. I could do a -4 this week, guys. Could be Walker, Darwin, and then Doughty in. And if I wanted to take a -8, I could even do Jota in if I really wanted to. And I'm not ruling out a -8, guys. Just for your clear. As you guys know, I've done it before in terms of double game weeks. I've taken -4s, -8s, and I'm not afraid to sort of do it. So -8 is definitely on the cards for myself. Something like this I am looking at because I do want to bring in as many doublers as possible. So that's what the plans are right now, guys. It could also change dramatically. I could not bring Darwin in. I could leave Solanke. And I could try bring KDB in, but I think KDB is going to be quite hard for my team. And I don't really know how I'd get to KDB. So it's looking like I'll have to go without him. But that is what I'm thinking of right now in terms of the moves. -8 potentially. Maybe a -4. -4 most likely, but 8 depending on how I feel on the day. We'll have to see tomorrow for the deadline stream.
Yeah, with that -8 move, how are you planning to navigate after the double in 25 when 5 of those players will blank in 26?
Yeah, obviously there will be quite a lot of blankers. Obviously Liverpool will blank. I believe Man City will blank as well, and then Luton, I think, as well, right? Will blank, and Chelsea will actually. Palmer
Yeah, Palmer blanks.
blanks.
Richarlison blanks.
Man City blank. Sorry, Man City don't blank.
Man City
My
don't
bad.
blank, no.
So it's just Palmer,
Yeah,
the Liverpool guys, and Richarlison. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
That is correct.
So I'll play Walker,
Oh, and
Gabriel.
Luton.
I'll play Walker, Gabriel, and then I'll have to do another transfer. So essentially, I will take another hit in game week. Game week 26, I have to take another hit. So for game week 25, I'm probably going to roll, and then I'll go into game week 26 with another 2 free transfers. So
Yeah,
I might have to take another -4.
Yeah, because I always forget Luton also blank as well.
Mm.
So you brought in Doughty for that, for the blank in 26. So yeah, there is a lot of that's a bit of annoying because of that gap where there's a double and then a blank for like Liverpool, for example. Yeah, it's sort of in the predicament.
Oh yeah, and that's why I think I will be taking hits. There's 100% a hit going to be taken in the next couple of weeks, for sure. There's no way I can navigate it without a -4. I'm definitely taking -4. -8 could be on the cards, as I said, because I do want more Liverpool assets. Because I think I don't want to go into game week 24 when Liverpool have Burnley at home with no Liverpool attack, and then they've got a double against Brentford and Luton. And then, yes, it's a blank, but just upside with Jota. You know, Jota's already got 11 goals, I believe. Not 11 goals, sorry. 8 goals. He's got 3 goals in his last 3 matches. And Darwin obviously didn't start against Arsenal, which I think was a mistake in Liverpool and Klopp's part, but I expect him to start. And especially with Salah, because Salah's not expected to be back soon, that's what tempts me even more to get these Liverpool assets in. But if we hear Salah's going to be back for 25, then maybe I'll have to reconsider my plans and then maybe try get KDB in or something like that. But I am tempted to bring in triple Liverpool, going into that double and then having triple City. Because I just think I got to attack it and hopefully try break into that top 100k. But yeah, you guys will have to tune in, guys, tomorrow morning for the deadline. So not tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Friday today. I don't know why. On Saturday, you'll have to tune in for the deadline stream and see what I actually end up doing. Because at the moment, it could be anything from a -4 to a -8. I'm not even sure. But we'll take a look at what you're doing, Jordan. If you pull up your team as well.
So yeah, here's my team selection for 24 and how it looks. So in goal, I have decided to start Leno. I think he does have a better fixture, Bournemouth at home. Areola has a tougher one against Arsenal at home, and the way West Ham are playing at the moment, I think I'll go with confidence that Leno can provide something from that game. I'm not expecting a clean sheet, but we'll see how that fixture goes down. In the defence, though, I am playing Estupinian, who's got Tottenham away. Gabriel's got West Ham away, and Pedro Porro, who's playing against Estupinian with Brighton at home. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a shuffle in terms of defenders and who to play because I originally did have Bell instead of Estupinian, but I've rethought this and decided to play Estupinian now instead of Bell. It might change come obviously nearer the time, but I think that's what I'm going with at the moment. Even though both of them play against each other, I still think it's going to be a high scoring fixture between them. Both teams defensively are pretty poor, and I think that will allow a lot of open and free play between everyone in any position. So I think Estupinian and Pedro this week could be ones to go for in terms of even though they play against each other starting. Gabriel's got West Ham away. I'm pretty confident with that. The way obviously I've mentioned pretty poor West Ham, and yeah, Arsenal looking good, especially with that win over Liverpool. But in the in the midfield, I'm playing the 4. Palmer has got Crystal Palace away, and is the captaincy at the moment. Saka's got West Ham away. Again, nice fixture. Richarlison's got Brighton at home, and he's currently on fire. And Foden, coming for 20 points with that hat-trick, has Everton at home. So pretty happy with the midfield. Wish I could fit in Gross as well, but unfortunately I can't. But I'm happy with this midfield I've got at the moment, which leads me on to the forward line, which is Tony, who's got Wolves away. Watkins got Man United at home, and Haaland, who has Everton at home. So yeah, in terms of the fixtures for the front three, I think they're all pretty good. I mean, Tony has a better fixture as his one prior to that was Man City, so I think this is more comfortable for Tony to maybe get a return in that game. Watkins as well, even though Man United have shown a bit more belief and confidence in the game, especially from last game in the West Ham one where they won 3-0. I still think Watkins, with his form and current goal spree, I think he's pretty set and good for that game. And obviously Haaland, big talking point, Everton at home. Is he captain worthy? Yes, definitely, I think. Even though I haven't got the captaincy over him, he is the vice for me currently. And just quickly on the bench, obviously you've spoken about Areola. Gross, he's got top of the way. Coming off that 11-pointer, I'm hoping he doesn't punish me again for benching him. Bell has Sheffield United at home, so whoever has Doughty could be one to play for that fixture. And finally, Brantwaite, he's got Man City away as the last player in my team bench. So that is currently my starting 11 at the moment. I've decided to obviously captain Palmer, who's got Crystal Palace away. I think that's a nice fixture that he has. And I feel like I want to go different because I could easily captain Haaland for this week, but I do like to go get a bit of variation, I think, for the captaincies for each week. So I'm deciding to play Palmer as the captain. But in terms of transfer plans, I've got 1.6 million in the bank with one free transfer. I am deciding to roll, I think, the transfer. It's going to be a bit boring again this week, but I am deciding to roll the transfer over into game week 25. So yeah, I don't see anything I need to do for my team. I'm pretty happy with it in all positions. I will be watching out for obviously Estepinian if he is starting or not after his last game where he didn't, and obviously Pedro Porro as well, where his clean sheets are not really coming from him, and as well his attacking returns haven't been coming really either. So those two I'll be watching out for, but the rest of the team is pretty fine. And yeah, I think that's my plans for Game Week 24.
Okay, nice one. So those are currently the transfer plans we both have in mind. Obviously, Jordan seems to be rolling. I could take a -8. I could even take a -4. We'll have to see, but definitely I'll be making quite a lot of transfers. So make sure you do tune into the deadline stream on Saturday, and it should be a very good one. So let's take a few of you's comments, and then we'll see, what you guys are thinking. So also, guys, please do hit that like button if you are enjoying the content. It always helps support the channel. So hit that like. Also, if you're watching for the first time or you're new around here, make sure you are subscribed to our channel as well. We've got Pranav. Why does everyone Foden on bench? It's not just me. I mean, I've seen a lot of people with Foden on the bench because a lot of people didn't think he'd start because KDB's back, Haaland starting. He played quite a lot of football. Some people were, not even sure that, as I said, he's going to play. So it's one of those. I think sometimes it goes for you. I was on the unlucky side this time, but hopefully, he does play this week and he could do quite well as well. Hey lads, currently thinking about taking a -8 to have up to 7 doublers for Game Week 25, and I'll also have 10 players for blank Game Week 26. So loving life right now at 200k. Animations.
Very nice animations.
Barnsley says, evening. I've been debating a Saka to Martinelli, Palmer to either this next week. Already have Nunez. I think I think Saka's a better pick than Martinelli right now. So I wouldn't be swapping Saka to Martinelli personally.
Yeah, especially with Saka regaining some form now from scoring, especially against Liverpool. It seems like Saka is a keeper, even though we were debating 2 game weeks ago whether we keep him or not.
That's what I was saying. Literally to you yesterday. Because if Saka blanked these games, similar to Haaland, I think in the situation, Haaland goes and bags a hat-trick against Everton. We're all going to we might even triple captain him for that double Game Week 25. So it could change very quickly. All it takes is a goal or two. And then people, will switch one way or the other way. And now Saka, no one wants to get rid of him, where a couple of weeks ago we were thinking about getting rid of him. Similar to Watkins, a lot of us were looking to get rid of Watkins potentially as well. And then he goes and gets 3 assists and a goal within 20 minutes. So, yeah, that's FPL. It's unpredictable. And sometimes, we do like to think we're skilled, but obviously luck does play a big part in it as well. Is Haaland worth a -8? I mean, I'm not sure, but I mean, for next week, I think Haaland is probably going to be the standout captaincy option because he's got a double. Unless you want to captain a Liverpool player, potentially, because you're most likely going to want to captain a double. If you've got KDB, I think KDB could be a decent shout for a captaincy, but I would like Haaland personally for my team anyway, especially for double game week 25. So is he worth it? If you're going to captain him, then I think he's worth it, especially if he allows you to do other moves as well in the team.
Yeah, I think we have to see how he gets on with Everton at home, and that might give us a better picture on, obviously, if it looks like he is worth going for it, especially for a -8.
We got. See, just a lot. Well, Oscar says, "Hey lads, hey Oscar, hope you're well." Got Christian as well. Hope you're well, mate. OR with a comment: Trent isn't guaranteed to play all the games. Bradley's back. I'm not so sure. Bradley is back because we actually don't know yet. Obviously, we know he had obviously the terrible news about his father passing away a day before I believe they played Arsenal. So we don't actually know the situation with Bradley. Is he going to be back or not? But I still think even if he is back, I know he's been excellent. But Trent is Trent, and I just don't see Trent being on the bench too much because he's one of Liverpool's best players. I know he wasn't great against Arsenal. However, we know how good Trent is, and I just don't think there'll be many games where he does miss out personally. So I expect Trent to be back in the team and playing majority minutes, if I'm being honest. Would you sell Watkins to Darwin? Can't afford him for Solanke. I'll let you take that, Jordan.
No, I don't think I'll be selling Watkins after the game we had last with an 18-pointer for Darwin. I just couldn't do that. It's just Watkins. He's one of those players that if you do take him out, he could score big. And even though he has Man United at home, I still think he's definitely a keeper. He's not one to sell. I think you'd have to somehow afford a way to get Darwin in, but not for Watkins.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of selling Watkins either. So as I'm selling Solanke to bring to bring Darwin in, and I'd recommend you do something similar. Try find any other way, take out any other midfielder. If you have to take out Saka, probably, or even if you have to take out Richarlison, I'd rather sell those sort of players first before Watkins. I think, especially because Richarlison and the blank coming up in 26 as well. Even Palmer is. I know he's quite cheap, but even he's for me more dispensable than Watkins at the moment, I think. I cut Bowen off and got Jota, captained him, and actually had an easy life this week. I'm chilling. It's Christian.
Yeah, good move, Christian.
Should I bring in Jota for Gordon or Gross and keep Watkins instead of selling to Nunes? I'd bring in Jota if you can for Gordon. If you can go straight Gordon to Jota, I think it's a very good move, personally.
Yeah. I don't think I would do it for Gross because he did have a good game week last, and Brighton do have a nice fixture because Tottenham do leak goals, and maybe Gross could be a part of that action as well.
Also, commenting from Damien: would you consider Alisson or VVD in transfer plans? I wouldn't consider VVD. I don't think because I just rather have Trent for more attacking threat, more assist potential, even more goals potential. Really, I know Van Dijk can score from set pieces, but I just prefer Trent. In terms of Alisson, I personally wouldn't. I don't think a goalie transfer, but I know there are managers out there that are actually looking at Alisson as a pick because Alisson had a double coming up. And then he's got some decent fixtures where he could keep a clean sheet. But I'm not too fond of going up to Alisson and using that extra money on a goalkeeper. Personally, I'd rather have Trent. And another comment from Ayan: you reckon Gordon will play? I doubt it. If I'm being honest, I don't see him playing for game week 24, but he could be back for 25 as what we hear.
Yeah, it'll be a huge miss for Newcastle because with Wilson and Isak both out as well, effectively Newcastle don't really have much of an attack with Gordon out too.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Newcastle. I mean, especially with their defense, they've not been great recently. I've got Trippier, and I've been a bit lucky with the returns he's had in going forward, but not many clean sheets there. So I'm hoping Newcastle can get something this week. We'll see, because Trippier could be one I get rid of as well. But the fixtures aren't too bad for Trippier. Aaron Deep, do you think De Bruyne is essential for this double game week? And how many double game week players would you recommend? I'll let you take this one, Jordan.
Yeah, I think De Bruyne, I'll say, is essential in terms of Man City midfielders. I think he's proven that he's definitely dangerous, especially for double game week, where some people might even captain De Bruyne as well. So I think, yeah, definitely, I think he's essential for this game week. How many players? I'll say the more the merrier. As long as you can get out of the predicament of when Liverpool blanked their following week, and also Spurs as well, if you have assets from them, and Chelsea. So just be careful how many doubles you bring in, because I wouldn't really put a number on how many I would recommend it, because it is team dependent on if you can get out of that situation where you have a starting 11 when blank game week 26 comes around the corner.
Yeah, obviously that blank does kind of make it a bit trickier, because we'd also love as many as we want to bring in, as many as we can. But as we know, Liverpool blank, Chelsea blank, Tottenham blank, Luton blank as well. So you have to navigate that. How many players can you actually get out in 26 as well? If you have to take hits, or if you have to play a chip, potentially a free hit or something like that, that's one thing to consider as well. Would you rather sell Solanke or Porro to Ake or Darwin? Definitely Solanke to Darwin.
Yeah,
I think there's way more upside there, rather than doing Porro to Ake, who Porro is a better pick in terms of maybe getting you on a goal or an assist. Rather, Ake is more of a, he's a centre back at the end of the day, and the upside isn't there compared to Porro. So I think definitely Darwin is the one I'd probably go for. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. In terms of forward, Solanke to Darwin is probably I'd say the safer pick. I think because of also Solanke blanking, I think it just gives you more confidence in taking him out of your team, and then bringing Darwin in, which sets you up lovely for when he has two fixtures. So yeah, I think that's worth it. Even you could even possibly decide to captain Darwin as well to make up for that -4 that you take to bring him in.
Yeah, so just going, Solanke doesn't actually blank. He does have a double in 28, and it's a really nice double as well for Solanke, against Sheffield and Luton. So that has been confirmed as well. So you probably do want Solanke back as well later down the line, if you do take him out, because obviously he will have a double, and I think he will be a popular pick that week as well. But yeah, I think that's everything in regards to both our teams. We've gone through our transfer plans. There's a lot that I'm actually planning. I'm still gonna, I think it's gonna go to the wire with what I do with my moves, because I'm still not sure whether to take a hit, obviously a big hit -8, whether it's going to be worth it over the long term. I'll have to weigh it up, and then see my team and see if it makes sense. But yeah, I'm sure it will be an interesting deadline stream. But yeah, make sure you guys do subscribe so you don't miss out. Make sure you ring that notification bell as well, so you know when we go live. And also, guys, there's not enough likes on this video, so if you are enjoying this content, we provide this for you guys every week, 2-3 times a week. So please do like the stream; it always helps us out. And yeah, I think that's it, Jordan, for us for today. Is there anything else you want to add, or anything else you want to discuss, before we go?
Just to let obviously guys know, I won't be available for the deadline stream Saturday, so Huss will be taking that for you in the morning. But I will be back for the knee-jerk reaction to see how well obviously our teams have done. But yeah, hopefully you do have a good deadline stream ahead on Saturday. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks obviously everyone for watching the stream, and also your comments in the section too. It's always appreciated. But yeah, that's all for me. But until then, take care, have a lovely weekend, and I will obviously see you soon.